Welcome to my mini documentary about the instrument that I built, the one-string tabletop bass. The one string, otherwise known as the diddley bow, is an American folk instrument. It's derived from the West African zither. Historically, it was a one-string instrument made from household scrap. Players would take a length of wire, often snatched from the end of a straw broom, and they'd stretch it over a resonator, for example, a bottle or can or wooden box, and they'd mount it onto a board using two nails. It was mainly used by blues musicians in the deep rural South. It's played by using a stick or a pick or plucking it with your fingers, and you change the pitch using some type of slide or your fingers. Before I built the instrument, I made up a story about it, so it could have this cohesive visual theme. The story goes that I was walking on a hunk of land owned by my great-grandpa in the deep woods of Mississippi, and I came upon a dilapidated shack, and inside it, I found this old banged-up instrument, so I decided to restore it. I wanted to make a bass version, so for one of the sound holes, I carved out a bass clef on the front of the resonator. For the platform, I used a piece of wood from an old Brooklyn water tower that I picked up from a recycling center. I tried to use as many recycled materials as possible. For the resonator, I used an old cigar box. I stripped the cherry finish off of it and distressed the wood using various techniques. And this is where the string comes out. I lined the hole with a piece of shower spout holder, which I rusted out. I rusted out all the metal I used to keep the old theme. I used an old radio knob for the piezo pickup, a distressed soda cap for the jack plate, and a clasp to hold the lid on. Here, I cut out 4 sound holes in a trapezoid shape. The top has another large sound hole with a screen. I distressed 2 soda caps and used them for the volume and tone knobs for the single coil pickup. Inside the box are the electronics for the light circuit and the 2 pickups. And here's the instrument lit up. This is a single coil pickup. I made it using 2 pieces of raw wood, which I stained. And I modeled the pickup after the 50s, 60s Fender P-Bass. So I did 10,000 winds by hand. It took me about 3 6-hour days. After I finished, I realized that I only needed to wind it 5,000 times, but I was actually happier in the end because it was twice as powerful. I had to mount the pickup onto the platform somehow, so I made the base with some reclaimed cedar, and then I attached the pickup to the base using 3 L brackets. Here on the platform, I did some beadwork to tie in the African influence. I used a pagan symbol, a star that means magic machine. Also on the front, I inlaid the name of the instrument with white beads. For the nut, I used some more reclaimed cedar, and I did some beadwork with the golden mean spiral. The tuner is a thumb screw, and I locked the tuning with a bolt on the top and 2 bolts on the bottom. And then I put some L brackets on each side. That concludes the mini documentary about my one-string tabletop bass.